So, thank you so much. I asked actually to be introduced as a refugee. People normally called me refugee, female, victim, even a destroyer. How would you feel if someone just called you a destroyer and they even don't know anything about you? These words stuck with me for almost 10 years. But if I was given the chance to introduce myself, I would introduce myself differently. I would tell my story. You know, I'm not an expert. I'm a normal human being, just like you, just like anyone in this room. I was living a normal life. I was going to school. I had home. I had friends. I had relatives. Many of them died in the war, unfortunately, but I had them. I had a normal life. In 2009, when my father took the decision that we are going to flee, I didn't know that we are going to flee and I will become a refugee. I even didn't know what this word means. He said to me, just pick up your things, we are going. And I even didn't ask why. And the next day I had a math exam, and believe me, I took my book with me because I didn't want to have a 0 in my exam. The next day I just realized that there's huge walls and people with guns, and I was like, what is happening? And then I realized that I was in a border. It was Syrian border. And I discovered that my father took the decision that we need to go to a safer place. How you as a parents or as people would think if you know that there is a danger on your lives and your kids' life? You would do the same thing. It's not a decision to take or to choose. It's to make in that minute when you know that there's dangers on your life. However, that experience was easy, let me say, and I will tell you why. When I went to Syria, I felt like a normal people, same culture, same language. I was able to go to school. I was able to access my basic rights, and I was happy with that. I told myself, Ole, this is the last destination, you know, I will have a peaceful life now, I can achieve my dreams, my goals, I have a good future now, but that wasn't the case. Because once again, the war came to Syria, and I fled Syria in 2011. Before I moved to the Turkey experience, I wanted to say that when I was just 14, I just stand in front of a mirror and I looked at myself and I see myself as a normal human being. I had hands, face, body, and I'm a normal human being. So I told myself, like, I don't accept to be a victim, you know? Maybe I was a victim when I was crossing that border, but I don't want to be a victim for the whole future. I told myself that I need to do something. And I did. I went to Danish Refugee Council, I remember, and I told them, look, I'm 14. I know that I'm young. You may think that I'm a child, but I want to help. And really, I start to connect with people just like me, my age. I start to hear their stories, their dreams, their ambitions. And again, when I flee to Turkey, more huge walls, but that wasn't just the case. The case was that there's huge barriers as well. I couldn't go to school. I didn't know the language. I didn't know how to talk to people, how to tell them my story. I was struggling. I can say that I was struggling. I left school because I needed to work and support my father in age of 16. I needed to survive with my family, and this is what happened. I worked about 6 months with a factory, and I was taking just $50 per week, and I was working from 6 in the morning to 6 p.m. I had no right to work, but I needed to do that time because we needed to survive. Otherwise, we needed to go back to the danger zone, which is Iraq. After that 6 months, I went to the UNHCR partner office because I wanted to have a new permit because it was ended and the expired time was near. And they heard me speak English, Arabic, and very weak Turkish, let me say. And they told me, look, we need an interpreter. Would you like this job? And I was just 17. I was like, really? I mean, I thought that they are making fun, actually, because I'm just 17. But they believed in me. I don't know. Maybe they saw something that I didn't see in myself. I started to work as a refugee, for refugees, with refugees. And that was an amazing experience. I was able to hear people suffer just like me, but maybe different stories. Similar problems, not accessing to basic rights. I mean, this is the right of everyone to go to school. It's right to have a document or identity to show who you are, that you belong. I mean, absolutely, we belong to this world. I believe in it because I'm human. We are human as well. But we were in a status that we couldn't explain this to the world. I stayed 6 years in Turkey, and that experience was completely different than the one I lived in Syria. But also, this wasn't the end, because I was resettled to Switzerland a year ago. And you know, Switzerland, the chocolate country, heaven. I was thinking about all the positive things that they are waiting for me. And I was really happy, actually. I was telling myself that this is the new life that I'm going to have. This is the way that I can achieve my dreams. This is the way that I can go and express myself and take all the voices and all the stories that I listened to in the past 9 years and bring them here so people can understand who we are and why are we here. So yeah, I came with a plane. I mean, I'm not going to come with a car. I don't know even if that's possible. And I didn't have a passport. I had just one paper with my family, and that was our passport, let me say. We get through, and this is the new life that we got. And after that, I want to show you, after about 1 month or 2 months, I could get these, could be something very simple, you know, for you, all of you have a citizenship, right? I didn't have one. I was a refugee, just a refugee. But now I have these two. Can you imagine how much happy I am? A travel document. I mean, you have a passport, but I have travel document. But for the first time, I feel that I'm able to go around the world and tell the people our story, who we are, why are we here, and what we can do. So these things changed my life, actually. This document gave me the chance to study. I'm a student now. I wanted to be for a long time, and I am now. And this one gave me the freedom to go from country to another, and I was holding it like this, you know, because when I was in Turkey, I couldn't even travel through cities without permission. So I was holding it like this, and I was shaking because I knew that I will be checked for thousands times. This is what happened in the past. But you know what? They even didn't see it. They just see it one time, and then I can go through all the security doors, and no one would ask me, I want to see it again. You know what? Youth are the future. In your community, in my community, we are the same. We are human. But refugee youth need documents to access their basic rights. Refugee youth need education opportunities to make a future. And also, refugee youth need to access livelihood so they can work, they can contribute to the country. We don't want to be victims and destroyers. We came here for a reason. We want just safety. We want to be a part of this community. We don't want to be on the other side. We don't want people to just let us in the victim status. No, we don't want that. We are normal people. We have dreams, we have ambitions, we have power. And youth are the future. If you give them education opportunity, for example, you are giving them a future, a bright future. You are giving them a right to work in the future. If refugees, for example, learn the language, they can contribute in the country. We can make the economy more stronger, not weaker. We can work just like normal people, take salary, pay taxes, and just live a normal life. We are just asking for that. Youth refugees, if you ask them, if you give them the opportunity to talk, if you were government, if you were normal people, they will tell you that they don't like to be victims. They don't like to be described as poor people. Oh, we are sorry for you. No, they want to be leaders for their community. I mean, one day, hopefully, the war is going to be end, and I'm going to go to the Swiss government and tell them, look, thank you so much for this opportunity. You gave me a future, you made me more powerful, but now it's the time to go back to my country and rebuild it. I don't want to stay as a refugee for my whole life. I want to go back to my country if that's possible. And I'm sure millions like me, they just came here temporary until everything's going to be fine in our country. So here, my message will be, please, try to give us a voice. If you were locals, if you were government, I mean, just giving us a voice is actually enough, because you are giving us the space to express who we are and why we are here and what we need to do. I will say again, I'm not a destroyer, and because I'm here today, I think that I'm not. I am a leader, and I'm sure youth want to become leaders. Thank you so much.